now, but it's one that we saw a long time ago, looking pretty much like this. I've forgotten exactly what it was like under the bonnet. I think it had a different air cleaner on it, but what it was this supercharger, so it's a 1900. Basically a Harrop system, but it's in the Walkinshaw branding. And I've forgotten, to be truthful, all the exhaust systems and bits and pieces, but it was a completely done thing. Thought he had 500 at the wheels, it didn't. We sorted it all out, made it work properly, then we upgraded it with a fuel system, a little camshaft and bits and pieces like that, and then it spent a lot of years away getting driven very hard, racing and that sort of stuff, so put an oil cooler on it, bits and pieces, but really it got worked pretty hard. It was running fine, but then it got sold to a different owner. A different owner found he didn't like the piston slap. For those that aren't aware, once a LS has been worked pretty hard, they'll quite commonly end up with a bit of piston noise. So this guy wants to get it all beautiful and all nice, went through his options, that sort of stuff. What he decided to go with was a stroker build. So it's still forged pistons, H-beam rods, these are I-beam rods actually, and a stroker crankshaft with a full build. So all the bits and pieces, but in a mild form, just mild camshaft, upgrade to dual timing chain and oil pumps and those sort of bits and pieces, but then put on this. The only upgrades to this is it's got a little bit more on the boost side of things, or the compressor's running a little bit harder to keep up with bigger engine. Got a Gilmer drive on the back of it and an 8-rib drive on the front of it, just doing it very thoroughly, but everything else is as was. So over here at the graph, this is where we're at. Now those three runs, the yellow run, the original run, that was a standard camshaft, and as you see, this was, as it looks like pretty much under the bonnet, it had the supercharger on it, but only made 400 horsepower at the tyres, so not awesome. Then after we'd gone through and sorted it all out, we put a little camshaft in it as well, but this is the best run that it was running with when it did all the track work, the 550 horsepower at the tyres. So good increase for what it was, little compressor and those sort of bits and pieces, but now we're back, and that was just under the 620 horsepower at the tyres, which is, if we go over to the boost graph, you'll see that we're still doing it on the same boost. Under 8 pounds of boost, so low on the boost, but that's what we're not trying to make a lot of horsepower here, it's just nice, strong engine in a nice moderate form. As you can see, decent horsepower increase, but where the real difference is, you can see this hump through here. That's about 4,500 revs, and a monstrous increase at that point for what we've got. It's nearly 100 horsepower increase, and even right down the bottom, even though we're running a mild camshaft, we've got a good horsepower increase of it was nearly 30 horsepower over the stock engine right down the bottom. If we come up into around the 2,500 revs, then we're once again up into the 50 horsepower increase. So really good percentage increase as well, but this thing should go really well. Capable of being upgraded quite a bit further, but as a street car and in a VE SS Ute, should go really, really well.